Hello and welcome to the 12 Hacks of Christmas. Today I'm going to look at carrots and parsnips. I'm going to do a dish that brings the two together. Instead of roasting them, I'm going to braise them in a pan. This has two advantages. By not putting them in the oven, you free up your oven space, and if you're doing a whole Christmas meal, usually you're fighting to rotate things through the oven, so you take away the need to have an oven shelf free, and it helps you bring your meal together at the right time. You can get this dish almost to the point of being finished, take it off the heat, leave it to one side, pop it back on the heat for a final 5 to 10 minutes and finish it off. This allows you to get it all ready in advance, which means you can bring your meal together nicely at the end. Earlier in the year, we used the same braising technique for some spring turnips, and the same method stands here. We're going to cut them into pieces, throw them into a pan with some liquid, some festive aromatics and some seasoning, and it's all about keeping a good eye on them, driving away that excess moisture at the end, so you get perfectly seasoned and flavoured roots. We're going to start by peeling the veg. Now if we were using a spring or summer carrot, a bunched carrot, we wouldn't tend to peel it because it's sweet enough, but the long stored winter carrots, those skins can be a little bit bitter, so I'd always peel a winter carrot. And with your parsnips, they tend to be a bit gnarlier, they can trap grit and sand and soil in them, so I'd always peel the parsnip as well. To get our perfect cut, we're going to use something called a roll cut. Now we looked at this in our carrot hack video earlier in the year. It might sound unfamiliar, but it's very, very simple to do. The principle stands that you just cut at a very sharp angle, and then you turn the carrot 90 degrees and do the same cut. And keep doing that, turning 90 degrees each time, and move your way up the carrot. And what you end up with is a selection of interesting angled, beveled, faceted pieces. Now that's really good inside the pan because you get areas of contact. It's really good in the cooking because you get variant across the piece. Those tips and those edges might be soft and the centre just cooked, and also it looks really good. So it's visual, it's cooking, but it's also texture in the eaten piece. You can use the same cut on the parsnips. Now parsnips tend to cook slightly quicker than carrots, so I'll make the pieces very slightly bigger. And parsnips flare at the end, so you might need to concentrate a bit more as you get towards the end. If it feels like those pieces are a bit unwieldy, then cut the end bit in half and apply the same principle. To get things started, we just need to heat up some oil in a pan. We want to get it nice and hot. We're going to throw the veg in. You want it hot enough so that the veg sizzles as it goes in. Add a good pinch of salt, and we want to fry them for a couple of minutes just to get the heat moving through them. The veg is going to cook out for about a minute or so, and that's just to get the heat moving through the roots. And then we're going to add flavour into the pan. So the first thing we're going to add is clementine. We're going to roughly slice it into discs, and we're going to throw the whole lot in. Now not only do you get the juice, but also you get the kind of bitter pith and the essential oils that are inside the skin as well, so you get the whole gamut of flavour. You throw that in, you can leave that in at the end, or you can pick the pieces out. They'll be perfectly edible. We're going to add some cinnamon. And this cinnamon stick is easier than adding pinched cinnamon, so it doesn't risk catching on the bottom of the pan, and you can pull it out at the end as well. We're going to add some star anise, just 1 star, some cloves, and then we're going to add a fresh bay leaf, which may well be one of the finest smells in the world. We're going to give that a crush. Just giving it a simple crush in the hand allows the oils to come out and flavour everything. So we're going to throw that into the liquid. We're going to add is just a little bit of cider. We'll put about 100 mils in or so, and then we're going to clamp the lid on there. That will then start to produce this steamy, hot atmosphere. We're going to give it a stir and give it a check every 3 or 4 minutes or so, just to make sure that the liquid isn't driven off and it's starting to catch on the bottom of the pan. If it looks like it's drying out too much, if it looks like it's about to catch, we'll add a dash more cider in there. These are ready now. They're soft to the tip of a knife. They're just done. And actually they only took about 15 or 20 minutes to cook. And there's a tiny bit of liquid left in the bottom of the pan. We're going to leave the lid off now. We're going to drive that liquid away. They might take a little bit of colour onto the bottom of the pan. Now these are all finished. They're perfectly ready to go. The final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fresh thyme leaves in just at the end. I'm going to strip them off the stalk straight into the pan. I wouldn't have added these any earlier because they would have just burnt and gone bitter inside the pan. But the residual heat of the carrots and the parsnips are enough to bring out all the oils and the flavour inside those thyme leaves. So that is parsnips and carrots with mulled cider and thyme. So the cooking time is fast, the method is simple, and it frees up lots of space in your oven for your Christmas meal. So just tip it into whatever bowl you fancy, and that's ready to go straight to the table. So it smells deep and spiced, and you'll be amazed how much flavour gets into those in so little time just by putting those things into the pan alongside. It really picks up that flavour. Anything that you've put into that pan has made its way into that veg. It's incredible. So that's a perfect side. It's not going to overpower anything else, but it's going to complement your Christmas dinner perfectly. That's Christmas carrots and parsnips sorted. That's a dish fit for 3 kings. We've got a few more Christmas veg hacks on the way. Please like, share and subscribe, and Merry Christmas.